Hey guys, and welcome to the Hobby News. Well, what a week. We've got some really nice, little events happening here in the world of new miniatures for GW. Yeah, this is a really surprising, model that's coming out. As I said on the previous Black Templars news vid, I was really happy to see them, echoing some of the history of the game, with that the cover art on the Codex for Black Templars, and sort of, harking back to that earlier age of the game and the sort of late 90s, early 2000s time. And, I didn't expect them to go all in on that kind of thing and actually produce something really special. So this is actually I think quite a unique miniature for them to make, or just a statement about the game in general, and I think it's really cool. So let's take a look. So Black Templars reinforcements are on the way with these amazingly zealous new models, and one in particular, I think, which we're going to see first up. So we hope you've got your relics to hand. The Black Templars army set is up for pre-order, this weekend, which I talked about yesterday, featuring the Emperor's Champion, a Marshal, Primaris Crusader squad, a Redemptor Dreadnought. It packs a fair old wallop, but there's just the tip of the spear. So definitely considering what's coming up next. So here we go. Look at this. So really beautiful. So this is based on the artwork down here. We'll just quickly have a look. So as you can see from the artwork, we've got this little character here, and they've gone ahead and actually designed the model for it, and it's really cool. It's just old school aesthetic. It's got some of the flair of the art itself. It's not shying away from adding all of those little details that you see in that kind of artwork, the John Blanche artwork. It's trying to evoke some of that grimdark aesthetic. It's really creating a different kind of feeling and anatomy for this Space Marine, which is on a scale of a Primaris, but really a firstborn. So it doesn't indicate, we're going to read in a sec, but it doesn't indicate what this Marine, what its DNA is. Is it a firstborn or a Primaris? It certainly has the armor of a firstborn, but is there a Primaris inside it? Who knows? But it's just a great piece of design. The sculptor, they should be proud of themselves. They've really tapped into that John Blanche aesthetic in a modern way. We've got all these little details, these smaller pieces, but then we have nice broad sections. Everything's clean, everything's clear. We can tell what everything is. It's not overly detailed, but it still gives enough to give that John Blanche look. If we take a look at the art here, and we see the comparison, you're getting that feeling. Look how broad the shapes are here. They've really tried to capture that in the model, and I think they've done an admirable job. It's very hard to get this aesthetic across without looking kind of, disproportionate or a bit like old school Rogue Trader Space Marines. They're a bit out of proportion. The arms and the heads and hands and so on are all a bit sort of disproportionate to one another. Part of that's to do with just the physical nature of that sculpting at the time and how they were making molds and so on. But there's still, it is very tricky to have an aesthetic like that and actually make it visually pleasing to the eye, which is really hard. So I don't want to emphasize this enough. This is a really important figure, I think, in terms of GW's history. I think it's a very beautiful piece, and even if you don't collect Black Templars, I think it's definitely something everyone that likes Space Marines or likes 40k in general will probably have in their collection, because it's just really cool. It's a great rendition. So I won't bang on too much more about it, but I think this is really cool. I never expected them to make a model like this. It's got some unique qualities on multiple levels. And yes, unfortunately, it is just another lieutenant, as we're going to read. So they keep banging on with these lieutenants, but it's a very special one. So that's really cool. So let's see what they talk about it. So you'll no doubt recognize High Marshal Helbrick and the grizzled High Chaplain Grimaldus, who looks like they've walked right off a piece of classic Warhammer 40,000 art. But what about all those others? So if you watch the video closely, we have many times, you may have seen a retinue of hitherto unseen miniatures, including more than a few nods and winks to Black Templars from the past. So we have this one. So here we have the Castellan, effectively a fancy pants Black Templars lieutenant, based on an inimitable piece of Black Templars art, providing a radically different look to your average Space Marine thanks to his skeletal pauldrons, all that piping, and the unconventional armor design. So there's a lot of unique things going on with this particular model. It's something that a lot of your Grimdark, Kit Bashers, the Inc. 28 guys, all people like that are trying to evoke some of that earlier John Blanche, I guess, kind of feeling or sentiment within their models. We're seeing that here, done in a with a full design studio behind it. So I really would love to see them do more of this. I hope this sells well so that they get the nod that this is exactly what they should be doing. This is adding so much more, I guess, personality. Those Primaris models are great and everything, but to really grab some of those nuggets of gold that they've already mined. They've already got them. I talked about this before, but Games Workshop seems to, I don't know, because of the machine of just constant new releases, seems to miss the moments when they actually get something right, and they don't focus in on it. They just, it seems to get lost in the pile of new releases that come out, and they don't really get to explore that very much, and that's a shame. Part of it's to do with just general, I guess, economics and so on. But, it's very rare that we get to see them lock in on something and try to push for it. And here I think they're trying. They're trying to really focus in on what makes 40K unique and trying to bring back some of that, not in a superficial retro style way, but just but really trying to actually incorporate it here. To get this model designed and made, that's not a superficial thing. That takes a long process. Okay, I'm a sculptor. I know this. And digital sculptor at that. And if you check the link in the description, my Blighted Gods brand, you'll see all of my sculpts and so on. And I'm only on a small level. It takes a very, very long time to produce something like this, from early concept to the prototyping and so on. It's such a long ride to get to this model. And so, I think it's, an amazing achievement. So really, really cool. I'm very, very happy with this. This makes me feel like a kid again. I don't know what anyone else thinks like, but this makes me feel like I'm like 8 years old again, looking at a Space Marine for the first time. It's such a fresh look. I really enjoy it. I can't say that enough. So if you're out there on the internet and you've also got, a group or people that you're with, or either online or offline or anywhere, I would suggest sharing this around and giving kudos where it's due. This is definitely a good direction, and I hope that they keep at it. So let's see what else they talk about here. So it doesn't really say anything about whether he's Primaris or not. I'm assuming maybe he is. I don't think it really matters. He'll have the wounds characteristics of a Primaris anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. I just think this is really, really cool. So and then we've got all these sword brethren here. So we've got I guess these are like their blade guard or whatever, and some really great sculpts here too. They're all really, really beautiful. I mean, we're seeing some great additions. I love all the aesthetic they're going for here. I think they're trying to push, what a Primaris could be or what it could look like. I think that's all good. Any further design pushes they can do to break out of the generic look, I think is a good thing. And the more of these little pieces that you can upgrade and convert, the better. The more of this stuff, the better. So it's not just all monopose and so on. So that people can actually have a bit more unique, I guess, flair for their models and their armies. So all beautiful. I can't say enough. This is a great addition to the Space Marine range for sure. So let's see. We've got some more close-ups here. Yeah, great. So what's this one? I think. Is that like a captain or something? No, it's just part of the sword brethren. Yeah, it's just close-ups of the same models. So really, really awesome, right? I think that's awesome. And then we've got an upgrade pack, which is great. I think this is a very important thing. I'm not sure how much it's going to be. In Australia, again, it's probably going to be extremely expensive, or in New Zealand. But if you're on the other side of the world, it'll probably be affordable enough. But I think that's a very good addition. You want to have that, transfers, extras. This is a much more generous pack than what I saw when I first got back into the hobby. Those little tiny blisters with the single little sprue. This looks much more generous. We've got multiple weapon choices. Still no power fists though. That's one thing I've noticed about these sprues. They seem to hate doing power fists as an extra. I found that really hard. I don't know if anyone's found that, but like to get the upgrades for some of your sergeants and stuff, sometimes you run out of that or you don't even have any, and they don't seem to put them in any of the many of the boxes, like it's only one or whatever, you know, and you always end up wanting more. I don't understand why they don't have a power fist in these things. And this is yet another pack that doesn't have a power fist in it. I guess they're thinking the one maybe you get in the, I don't know, but the one in the basic, the intercessor box or whatever it is a bit like, I like the one with the fingers open. I don't know what everyone else thinks, but the closed fist is good, but I really like the open fist. I think that's nice. It's more gestural. You can do more with it. But I really love one in one of these packs one day. I wish they'd do that rather than having to just buy a Terminator box and, you know, chopping them up just for power fists. But yeah, it's still good. I still think this is nice. It's good that they've got a bit in here, lots of different shoulder pads and so on. Really, really cool. So yeah, all in all, very, very positive. I can't say enough about that. That's just good. Hopefully the pricing's okay and it's not too overboard. Yeah, and even the standard Codex cover here is really nice. It's the same art that we've seen before, so that's great. And a lot of this should be coming up for pre-order, or at least what we saw yesterday for the Army box and the Codex will be coming for pre-order on Saturday. And they do have that promise about being able to pre-order it, which is great. So all of this will be following shortly after the release of Black Templars Army set. Yeah, so this will be coming later, not on Saturday, but the initial release will be, which is great. And we'll see everything else come out after that. So all in all, you know, such a great addition to the Space Marine range. I know there's a lot of Space Marine stuff, but you know, it goes hand in hand with the history of 40k, and this by far is the jewel in the whole treasure trove, right? Just if this alone was released and nothing else, like the Codex and this, I think I would be happy, and I think most other Black Templar players and even Space Marine players generally, or people that have been around for a while, even the new people, would be very happy with this. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Please hit that like button, subscribe button. It really helps me out, and I guess I'll catch you on the next one.